You ever just feel off? Like you've got a lingering cold that just won't quit? Or this deep fatigue that sleep doesn't seem to fix? It really feels like our body's defense systems are just working in overdrive. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why our immune systems are so overloaded and what it really means to be resilient.
Okay, let's just start with a number wow, it's pretty shocking. Take a look at this. Just 25 years ago, about 3% of people in the US had a diagnosed autoimmune disease. Fast forward to today, that number has shot up to over 11%. It's more than tripled, and honestly, that's probably an undercount. This isn't just a number on a chart, it's a massive shift in our health as a population.
So, what is going on here? You hear all these different terms, right? Autoimmune disease, long COVID, chronic fatigue, but really, all these labels are pointing to the same fundamental problem. It's not just that we're getting sick more often. The real issue is that our bodies are getting stuck in sick mode, and they're having a really hard time finding their way back to balance.
So let's talk about this immune overload. It's really a crisis that's been created by a kind of perfect storm. We're facing more threats from our environment than ever before, and at the exact same time, our body's ability to handle them seems to be going down.
Now, check this out. This number comes from a huge study. We're talking 1.5 million people. Just one single COVID-19 infection can increase your risk of developing a brand new autoimmune disease by a staggering 46%. Now, this isn't just about the virus itself. What it's really doing is exposing a vulnerability, a weakness, that was already there in our immune systems.
And this brings us to maybe the most important concept we're going to talk about today: immune resilience. This isn't just about being tough and fighting off a bug. Real resilience is the immune system's ability to win the battle and then, and this is the crucial part, to stand down, to reset, and go back to a state of calm. It's that second part, the standing down, where so many of us are struggling.
So what is immune resilience, really? To get it, we need to understand where it comes from, and I'll give you a hint. The answer is probably not where you think it is.
Yeah, forget the lymph nodes, forget your spleen. The headquarters, command central for your entire immune system, the whole operation, is located right in the lining of your gut.
And here's why that's so important. Your gut is home to this massive population of really special cells called T regulatory cells. You can think of them like the generals of your immune army. They're the ones who tell the troops when to fight, but just as important, they're the ones who tell them when to stand down and stop fighting. They maintain the peace and stop the immune system from making a huge mistake and attacking our own body.
Okay, so if the gut is command central for our immune resilience, we have to ask a pretty critical question. What in our modern world is constantly attacking it?
And here they are, the usual suspects. It's really a daily assault from all sides. We're talking ultra-processed foods, antibiotics that just wipe out our good bacteria, chemicals in our food, and even super common medications like acid blockers. Then you throw chronic stress on top of all of that, and you've got a recipe for disaster.
All of this constant hammering leads to a condition that scientists call intestinal permeability, or as you might have heard it, leaky gut. Basically, the little connections between the cells in your gut lining start to break apart, and that allows stuff, like undigested food and toxins, to leak into your bloodstream where they absolutely should not be. This puts your immune system on high alert 24/7, and that creates this low-grade, chronic inflammation all over your body.
You know, this explains something a lot of people get mixed up about: the difference between a food allergy and a food sensitivity. A true food allergy is that immediate, sometimes life-threatening reaction. But a food sensitivity is totally different. It's delayed, and it's often not a problem with the food itself, but a major clue that your gut's security barrier is broken, which is causing your immune system to overreact to things that should be harmless.
So what happens when this already compromised, overreactive system gets hit with a major new threat? Well, that brings us to the most devastating modern example of what failed immune resilience looks like: long COVID.
The best way to think about long COVID is as the ultimate result of an immune system that's just lost its balance. It fires up to fight the virus, but then it can't find its off switch. It gets stuck in this prolonged, chronic, inflammatory state, causing damage all over the body long after the initial infection is gone. Researchers are now seeing long COVID not as one single thing, but as this complex syndrome that really falls into 5 main buckets. You've got the virus maybe lingering in the body, you've got damage to our mitochondria, our little cellular energy factories, you've got major gut disruption, autoimmunity, and something called superantigen activation, which is basically the immune system just going haywire. And what's really wild is that when the immune system is totally overwhelmed and exhausted from fighting something like COVID, it creates an opening for old dormant viruses that we already carry, like Epstein-Barr, the virus that causes mono, to wake up and start causing trouble all over again. It's like old enemies staging a rebellion the second they realize the castle guards are distracted.
This is a classic case of mistaken identity, and it's at the heart of autoimmunity. So your immune system makes antibodies to fight off an invader, right? Like a virus or a food protein. But what if that invader's protein structure looks really similar to, say, your own thyroid tissue? Well, the immune system can get confused and start attacking your own body by mistake.
I know. This all sounds pretty alarming, but here is the really good news. The same science that explains the problem also shines a very clear light on the solution. It gives us an actionable path for rebuilding our defenses.
So, let's pivot. Let's move away from the problem and focus on the solution. How do we actually rebuild our resilience? Well, the strategy is clear, it's backed by science, and it starts from the ground up.
And you probably guessed it. The entire strategy comes back to headquarters. We have to heal the gut. The main goal is to restore something scientists call oral tolerance. And that's just a fancy way of saying we need to retrain the gut's ability to know the difference between a real threat and a friend, so it can finally stop overreacting. In functional medicine, there's a really clear, systematic strategy for this, and it's often called the 4R program. First, you remove the triggers, the foods and toxins causing inflammation. Second, you replace what might be missing, like digestive enzymes. Third, you re-inoculate the gut with good, beneficial bacteria. And finally, and most importantly, you repair the gut lining itself.
And this slide shows you the actual tools your body uses for that repair plan. Think of these as the bricks and mortar. Key nutrients like vitamins A and D, anti-inflammatory fish oil, probiotics, and crucial building blocks like glutamine and zinc, these are all absolutely essential for rebuilding that gut wall and getting things back in balance.
You know, at the end of the day, investing in your immune resilience isn't just about trying to avoid the next cold or flu. It's about building a strong foundation for your health for the long haul. Because ultimately, a balanced, resilient immune system isn't just a defense mechanism, it's the key to truly thriving in the modern world.
Click the subscribe button to stay updated with VitalSpan Labs.